Hello, beautifuls. Welcome to Self-Love Mission. I'm your host, Tara Love Perry, and I'm here today to guide you through gentle, simple, wonderful breath work without the work. And today we're going to focus on regulating your nervous system. Hooray! I think everybody needs that. Maybe not everybody. Let me know if you need that. Hold on. No, click that little thing away. And also to talk about self-love and what self-love is. I'm going to invite the audience to join in. So welcome. Thank you for being here, Betty Ballerina. You're always the first. You're always right there waiting. I love that. So how are we doing today? How are you feeling? A little bit calmer than yesterday? A little bit less calm than yesterday? How was your breath work on Monday? How did you find that? I really enjoyed Monday's session. Okay, so let's get into it. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being part of the community. And if you're returning, welcome back. I love you. It's good to see you. And let's get into it, shall we? So I was having a chat with ChatGPT. I said that wrong. I always say GB. It's not ChatGPT. And basically, I was talking with the computer about love and in my personal experience of self-love and what that means. And it was giving me a lot of clinical terms, which were really fascinating and really interesting for me. I've never been trained clinically. I've never been trained in therapy. I just train therapists in my method. And they really love it and they really enjoy it. And they say, I wish I'd done this years ago. But it's fascinating for me to learn about that. And maybe you're more knowledgeable even than I am. So I was learning things from ChatGPT about obviously nervous system regulation, but forms of attachment. And basically, instead of saying love, the computer wants to put love into clinical terms, what it does for your hormones, what it does to your chemistry, and all these different states and ways of soothing, ways of showing up, ways of being present. And I was like, well, I call that love. And obviously I'm talking to a machine. I'm communicating with a robot who doesn't have a heart, who doesn't understand what love is. And it was fascinating for me. And I was going to have all the phrases prepared, but actually I was busy doing something else, so I didn't. And I wonder how you feel about that. Do you think love just means having a regulated nervous system? Does it mean that you feel safe? Does it mean that you are not attached? You don't have addictive attachment or codependency patterns? Indeed, nervous system regulation. You just did a meditation. Yay, wonderful. So and the way that I think about self-love, the way that it means something to me, because so many people have so many different, what do you call it? Concepts about what love is, hence talking to the computer. It can only conceptualize it. It can't feel it. It can't distinguish between a clinical state and what it feels like to love yourself or to have love and be loved. And so, I'm curious because I also learned years and years ago that certain drugs, and particularly cocaine, hits the same part of the brain that gets activated when you're in love. So you can feel like you're in love when you're on. I've never done cocaine, so I wouldn't know, but I know that it activates that part of the brain that gets lit up when we're in love. So I'm like, well, is love something like that's existential? Is it from the heart? Is it something spiritual? Is it also just an emotion that can come and go depending on how regulated you are or how dependent you are? Or is it something else? Because my experience of self-love, it's a feeling and it goes beyond all those concepts. It's like, I don't sit down and think, okay, I'm now going to regulate my nervous system. I ask myself, What can I do right now? How can I show up for myself that's loving? What would love do? And I know as a mother, the kind of love I have for my children, and in fact, children generally, but particularly my children, I would do anything for those kids. If it meant that they were healthy and thriving and surviving, I would do anything. And that's not just because I have some clinical definition. It's because my heart feels something which will override any logical thoughts in my head and perhaps put my own self in danger. My mind won't be thinking about that. I'll be acting from a place of love. And so when it comes to self-love, for me, it's very similar. It's like, if you love somebody, would you let them be in pain? Just watch them day by day suffering. Maybe you get used to somebody suffering. Maybe you see that in your everyday life. Maybe you have a parent or a child or a friend or a partner who's sick, or they have pain of some kind. That could be physical pain, it could be mental pain, it could be emotional pain, it could be spiritual pain. But you sit there day by day watching them suffer, watching them struggle, maybe feeling helpless, maybe not being able to do anything or not knowing what to do. But the love inside of you makes you want to do something. Like when you love someone enough, you want to help end their struggle, you want to help end their suffering. And not being able to do that can be painful. And then you're in the same pain as a different kind of pain, but you're still in the pain boat with the person that you care about who's in pain. And then everybody's suffering. And I know very codependent relationships often occur like this. Very codependent family patterns often occur like this, where if somebody's suffering, you have to suffer with them to show that you love and care. And if you don't suffer with them, or you don't appear to be suffering with them, then you simply don't care. It's taken that way. So the whole family gets into suffering because one or two people are suffering and struggling and in pain. And it's like, that's the support modality, is to also suffer, which personally I don't understand. And I know that this is the case because I've worked with many, many clients like this who fear getting well, or who fear being in happiness because of the rejection that they may end up getting from their families. Why are you so happy? Why are you okay? Why aren't you suffering and struggling with us? So it's really kind of crazy when you break it down and you think about it. Whereas if one person actually ended their pain and suffering, then perhaps the others could follow. Perhaps that person could lead by example. Perhaps the others would be inspired and want to get well and come out of their pain. And that's how I think about self-love. If I'm someone who's suffering and struggling and in pain, then the people around me, they're going to get frustrated. It's going to pain them. So what's the best thing that I can do is to make sure that I'm not in pain, that I'm not struggling, that I'm not suffering, to the best of my ability. And of course, we all go through challenging and strange and difficult times. We live in a challenging, strange, and difficult world at times. And so, of course, we're going to have like imperfect days. So this isn't about trying to reach some level of perfection and stay there, or being in a transcendent state. So you're not really in your body and you're bypassing what's going on inside of you. In fact, quite the opposite. I believe that self-love is about tending to those details. Like if you see a withering plant in your garden, you don't just leave it to die. You would go and start tending to it and bring it back up into its full glory. And you tend that garden because you love it, because you admire the beauty, because when it's thriving, it's glorious and it's colorful and it's full of scents and it's just enlivening. And we are like that garden. If we leave parts of us just to diminish or rot or be ignored, be abandoned, then those parts of us are not going to thrive. And then we could just like ignore it, say, I'm not going to focus on the negativity. I don't want to pay attention to things that are painful, because what I give my attention to, I will just increase, because we know that saying, I think everybody knows now, that where our attention goes, energy flows. So I don't want energy to flow to my pain. That's what people think. So I won't give it attention. I'll just ignore it. And again, this could be mental issues, physical issues, spiritual issues. And that's like letting plants in your garden just die, until one day you look out of your window and you look at the garden and the whole thing is a shambles. The whole thing is withering because it wasn't tended to properly. And what if we could tend to ourselves the way that we tend to our garden, or the way that we tend to our kids, or the way that we tend to anything that we love, and make sure that we don't have parts of us that are withering away, not being watered, not being fed. We thrive when we're nourished properly. And that's nourished with the right words, with the right thoughts, with the right touch and connection, with the right emotions and feelings, with empathy, with compassion, with love. That's what I mean by the right feelings. Empathy, compassion, love, gratitude, acknowledgement. We thrive in that environment. So when I'm talking about self-love, I'm not just talking about, giving myself a spa day, although that is definitely part of my self-love. I do it every single week. I go to the spa at least once. And, I'm not talking about just, giving yourself vegetables one night for dinner because, you have to support your body, or, give yourself a duvet day, or buy yourself flowers. There's so many different ways we can express our love and appreciation, but I'm not talking about the superficial things. Those are add-ons. Those are the cherries on top. But I'm talking about the stuff that's underneath the covers, underneath the rug that we like to sweep things underneath and pretend aren't happening. Because what I've noticed is, if we don't give something energy, we don't give something attention, it withers. It diminishes. It doesn't just go away. It actually goes into atrophy. And so, for example, if I'm not paying attention to my diet and how my food affects my stomach and affects my overall energy, then I could be putting any old junk in my system and just ignoring the stomachache, or ignoring the headache, or ignoring the whatever issue has arisen from that food, and because I don't want to give it energy. I don't want to be negative. I'm just going to ignore it and it will go away. And that's not the case. That's like being very careful how you water, how you feed your flowers. You have to be very careful how you water and how you feed you. All of these things are important. Your emotional nutrition, your mental food and nutrition that you give yourself. And that includes the attention that you pour in, how you choose to show up to the pain, how you choose to show up to those challenges. And can you do so with love, kindness, compassion? Does that make sense? Hey, everyone. Does that make sense? You're saying a lot of people can't hold space. Hold space for what, Betty Ballerina? Because you're right. I think there's a lot of people, if we're talking about holding a safe space, holding a container for somebody else to feel safe, to be held, to feel protected, to feel loved. No, we all have different standards of what that looks like and feels like. I have quite a high standard for that. I would say I have a very high standard for that. That's what I train people to do in my trainings. But in the light of there not being other people around that can do that for us, where does the responsibility fall? Because we could wait a lifetime waiting for the right people to hold the right kind of space for us in exactly the right way, to say exactly the right things, to hold us, to touch us, or to not touch us, or whatever it is, the exact right conditions that will suit you. And we can wait a really long time for that. You could go on a massive epic adventure looking for the right person. You could spend a lot of money trying to find that. When at the end of the day, you could be the one that holds space for you. You could learn how to do it. I'll teach you how to do it. I'm very, very good at doing it for myself, very good at doing it for others. But when you learn exactly how you need to be held and what conditions you need for your healing, what conditions you need for your well-being, and you understand that, then you can make a decision to give them to yourself or to not give them to yourself and to keep waiting for somebody else to do it, for somebody else to be at the right standard for you. Let me tell you, it gets very lonely waiting for everybody else to be up to the right standard. I wouldn't recommend it. I would, if I were you, learn to be the standard that you want. Become the one that you're waiting for. Be the love that you're searching for. You will have a knock-on effect around you. And even if you're not surrounded by other people, you don't notice that effect, which would be hard to ignore because it happens, it's a thing. You are having an impact in the rest of the world. You're adding one more light to the world, which makes it that bit brighter. You're one of these people that says, you know, I'm not going to choose suffering. I'm not going to keep choosing pain. I'm not going to choose helplessness. I'm going to learn how to show up for myself the way that I need it, so I'm not waiting the rest of my life for the right person to show up. Because that's really lonely. It's really painful. Nobody wants that. So I recommend you learn. And here, being here right now is a fantastic place to start learning. So I'm going to take you through Breathe and Receive. It is the first step to the 7 steps of transformational self-love, which is a method I developed way back in 2007. And it's available down below in one of the links below. Go and find Self-Love Mission and log in, make yourself a free account, and you'll find it in there. You'll find how to love yourself in 7 steps. And it hits the spot. Every single step in that method hits every spot that you need to transform your life and come into a state of wellness. And it's amazing. I have to, like I was saying on Monday, it saved my life repeatedly. And I've seen it save other people's lives as well. So if you want someone to save your life, you go be the one to do that and go and learn how to do it. But if you're new and you're just getting started, then we'll just start with Breathe and Receive. It's the best place to start. It's the only place to start. How can you love yourself without connection? So this breath work is all about getting connected to you. We're going to use all the tools in the bag. And what are the tools? The tools are your senses, your ability to see, your ability to hear, your ability to smell and taste and touch, but also to speak and empathize and just sense, like an inner sensing that's beyond smelling or seeing. It's just a inner knowing. So we're going to engage all of your external senses and your internal senses to connect with yourself, because we don't want to shortchange you. You don't want to shortchange you. You want to use every single tool you have for connection and apply it. So that's what we're going to do here. Get yourself comfortable, get yourself a comfy chair, have a little sip of water if you like before we get started, because we're going to breathe in through the mouth and out through the mouth, really, really, really gently, as if you're not doing anything at all. And you need to have your body nice and relaxed and your head supported and your neck supported. You can have your feet up if you like. You can have them on the floor, whatever works for you. You can lean back on your bed, as long as you're not completely flat. I don't recommend doing it completely flat, although you can, but you're likely to fall asleep. And you kind of don't get the same, it doesn't kind of work the same. I mean, it still works, trust me, it still works, but it's better if you're sitting up and just like leaning back like this, somewhere comfortable. So we'll get started. Did that help when I was talking about holding space for yourself there, Betty Ballerina? Did that give you some clarity? Hopefully it did. Okay. So I'm glad. So for self-connection, basically what we're doing is disengaging connection from what's going on out here with the phone, with the neighbors, with the news, whatever's going on. We're just going to leave it where it is. And instead of giving our attention to connect with that, we're going to turn the attention 180 degrees and give the attention back here. Because what did I say earlier? Where attention goes, energy flows, and we want to flow energy to ourselves. Think how much energy you flow out every single day. Think of all the directions that you flow that energy. And it's kind of ironic, isn't it? When people talk about not giving their pains and issues attention because they don't want to be negative and they don't want to give those things energy, give the negative or the painful things energy. And yet how much stuff that's going on in the world that is painful, disruptive, distorted, challenging, how much of that stuff do we give attention? How much of that are we feeding with our attention? Interesting. And the quality of attention. I actually think, personally, it's not about the energy flowing, it's about the quality of energy flowing. And if we were to flow really loving attention to the world, treat it like our garden, and tend to the things with love that are out of harmony and out of balance, what kind of world would it be? And so that's what we're going to do with ourselves. First of all, I think in order for us to make any kind of impact out here for transformation and change and improvement, we need to have the impact, change and improvement and transformation here first. I've really realized in my life that I can't expect somebody else to do something for me if they're not able to even do it for themselves. And so we want to be the ones that are actually capable. We want to be the ones with the capacity to hold. We want to be the ones that can make an impact in the world because we know how, because we did it here first. So with that said, we're just going to gently switch off from the world. You don't have to look at the screen. You don't have to look at me. You just have to close your eyes. Bring the shutters down. And it's like giving your whole headspace the off switch. So everything just goes ooh. And perhaps you can feel the engines in your brain calming down. And that whirring can slow right down to a stop. And soften the eyelids and soften the back of your eyeballs. And that sounds funny, but it's true. We've got nerves and muscles and tendons in the back of the eyes that directly feed the brain. And we want those to soften and relax. And feel the softening and relaxing smoothing over your forehead, down into the temples and the sides of your head. Feel the unraveling of the tension in your sinuses, in the back of your nose, behind your cheekbones, into your jaw, into all the fascia of your face. Feel it softening and relaxing. And if you like, you can use a very gentle touch with your fingertips, just to support yourself in releasing and relaxing with kindness. And you're going to let the jaw soften and open. Let the mouth open. Just let the jaw hang. Without it being uncomfortable. But if you notice you store a lot of tension in your jaw, and if you're still holding on to that tension with your jaw only open slightly, it's not going to work so well for you. You really want every bit of tension in that jaw to have permission to start melting out. And that means fully releasing the jaw. Like this, so your mouth really opens and it can soften all the way down your throat. And it also helps your head soften inside. You can tilt your chin back an inch or so and let your head rest back on the chair or cushion behind you. And feel the weight of your head supported. Let go in the neck. And feel this stroking sensation, the softening from the top of your head down the back of your head, down the back of your neck. Let your neck be supported and feel all of the weight dropping down your spine, bit by bit, down through the back of your shoulder blades. Behind your heart, feel everything softening. Your bones are relaxing. The muscles around your spine are softening. You're sinking into your chair, feeling supported, letting go. And the middle of your back can completely relax. And it feels like a sigh when you in through the mouth and out through the mouth, and you can gently let your weight sink down into the lower back, into the pelvic bones, deep into the sacral, all the way down to your coccyx bone, right in the very bottom of your spine, as if the weight is just dropping off the end. And you feel that sinking in your bottom. You feel the weight in your buttocks and the top of your legs. And the whole body is relaxing. Like every little cell in your body is unfurling at the opportunity to let go. It's opening. You start to feel really heavy but expanded. And as the breath comes in and out through the mouth, it's like a sigh. There's no pulling, there's no pushing. You're just allowing and receiving. And on the out breath, you can allow that sound, the sighing, the the hum, and allow that sound to soften your throat even more. And it helps to soften your diaphragm, and it can help you soften all the way down to your cervix if you have one, or that area of the body in the sacral space. It brings a soothing relaxation to the whole body and your nervous system and your mind. And let it be effortless, because if you're trying, then that's going to be using energy that you don't need to use. That's going to be causing you effort. That's pressure. That's strain, and you don't need any more of that. This is simply a time where you take all the pressure to perform away. You don't need to perform for you. You can be real. So soften your jaws, soften your throat, relax the back of the neck. Even more, trusting your breath to breathe you. Trusting your body to be held when you stop holding it. You stop holding it together. Can you feel that relaxation from the top of your head down to your coccyx? Just have a little check with your spine. Are you feeling connected? Are you feeling supported in your body? Notice your awareness, your strength of awareness and connection to your body. Or perhaps it's hard for you to notice. Perhaps you've been absent for a while and you have to recalibrate your awareness back with you. You can just do that really gently and kindly. There's no judgment. Just notice the quality of how it feels when you're checking in with your physical body like this. Allowing all those little tight parts to release. You're really allowed to give yourself a breather, you know. This is literally your breather. Space to breathe and be and just be you. No one else needs your attention right now, just you. You need all your attention. You are worthy of all your attention. So as your eyes soften in your head and your mind softens, perhaps you start to see things on the inside. Pay attention to what you see, pay attention to what you hear, and what you feel and sense. Start tuning your senses in. You might notice that in your head, there's a little mini you. The you that thinks, the you that speaks all day in your head. You can notice yourself. You can even say hello if you like. Hello, me in my head. Your awareness. Your me. And you can notice what they look like. Maybe you see a face or a body. Maybe you just see a blur or a shape. Maybe you don't see anything. Notice if you can hear yourself responding and thinking like a narrator or like a critic or like a curious child. Notice the kind of talk your inner self is doing. What's the vibe in your head? Notice if this is a nice place for you to live in every day or not. This is your inner environment that you live in. Is it healthy? Are the windows open? Is there fresh air coming in? Is there mess everywhere? Have you got space to breathe in your own head? Just notice. No judgment, just paying attention. See yourself. See what conditions you live in. See if your conditions could do with a bit of a spruce up, a bit of a spring clean. Just notice. And with kindness, with compassion for that little you living in your head, who has to do that job every day, figuring everything out. It's not an easy job. It's not straightforward. There's no manual. You're doing great. So with kindness, with empathy, with compassion, invite your little me in your head to move away from whatever they're doing, away from the thinking or the control panel, and invite them to move right back into the center of your head where the light is. Find that space. It's always there. And just notice what you see or don't see. Notice if you sense that space in the middle of your head where it feels lighter, because it is lighter. There's a presence there that's waiting for you. So you can go and sit back, lean back, rest back into that space in the middle of your head. Relax the jaw, relax your face, relax your throat. And let the breath wash in across your lips, across your tongue. And feel the rising of your breath right up underneath where you are in that light. As you lean into the light like it's a big cushion or a cloud, it holds you. This is your ultimate space holder. It's always holding a space for you inside there. Never goes to sleep. It never switches off. It's always present, waiting for you to be present too. Just notice. Go and lean in, rest in, get comfortable in that light space. And feel the breath rising up through the roof of your mouth, directly underneath where that cushion of light is. Just notice the very gentle wave of your breath coming in and rolling out. It's almost imperceptible how soft it is, but feel the stroke of the breath on your lips and your tongue. Feel how it moves through the roof of your mouth up into the headspace. There's no walls that your breath can't get through. It just rises. It lifts you. It holds you. And when your breath goes out, it's still holding you. Just notice that. You start sinking down, getting more relaxed in your head, letting go. And the breath is a vehicle. It's going to take you deep down inside yourself. So you're going to go on a journey simply by surrendering. On every out-breath, you just simply surrender deeper. And you get a sinking sensation as if you're dropping down through the center of your head. And everything starts getting even more relaxed. And when the breath comes in, picks you up again like a little wave, just a little bit picks you up to prepare you for the next out breath where you sink down even more. Allow yourself to drop into the rhythm of the rising being held, and the sinking and being released. And you can enjoy receiving on the in-breath, gently absorbing, soaking in the breath, letting it fill you. And then on the out-breath, enjoy the release. Enjoy the relief. Enjoy the absolute surrender down and in to yourself. All those places that were holding tension on the inside start softening. When the breath comes in, pouring down into your throat, into your body, it lifts you just a little bit, fills you, reassures you, and then it releases you. And you surrender in deeper. And now use your hands to hold yourself wherever you are, engaging your touch, letting yourself know on the inside that you're not only held by your breath, you're not only held by your body, but you're held consciously by you. You're holding your own awareness as if it's a loving child, receiving your touch, receiving your holding. And there's that communication through touch happening. Just notice that and breathe it in. And release again on the out breath. And if you need to lick your lips or swallow, feel free to do so. Whatever you need. Whatever you need to really let your awareness drop in deeper and deeper. And you stay with yourself, moving your hands as you drop down. Dropping down through the heart, down through the tummy. In your own time, your own way. Remembering to let yourself be lifted by the breath. Let the breath do the work. And then let the breath drop you down. You can let go. Notice that you still feel safe. Notice that when the breath is holding you, you're completely safe. If you let go of your breath and start going into things inside of you that you can feel, or you start avoiding rather, and you stop breathing into certain parts of yourself, that's where you might not feel so safe. So just notice when you stay with your breath, you are completely safe. Just notice that. It has got you. Notice your relationship with your breath. Sometimes you might need to build bridges here. Make peace with, do some healing with your own breath. Maybe you don't trust your breath. Maybe you don't trust life. And I'm not surprised. If that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if you felt that way. Just stay with you and feel whatever you're feeling, allowing your breath to hold you, lifting you and releasing you. Until you sink all the way down through your tummy, noticing what it looks like on the inside, perhaps even what you can hear or taste. Maybe you get a sense of something, like how you pick up the energy in a room. You can sense the space, the environment within yourself. Kind of good, kind of not so good. Need more love, not need more love. Need more air, more light. Let yourself be expanded on the inside. Let your breath move in. Let the oxygen be poured into you like a vessel receiving water. Let the breath pour life into you so that you can re-enliven parts of yourself. And it's up to you where you choose to receive and how you choose to funnel your breath into your body. Because wherever you go, you're going to give that breath a direction. That's it. Stay with you. Well done. And now let yourself drop all the way down to the bottom if you're not already there. And it's like you completely sink your full awareness right into the seat inside of you, right down in the base center. And you feel the earth, you feel the physical, you feel the body, and you surrender to it. You just let yourself drop right in. With the deepest sigh, the deepest letting go. As you stop resisting being physical, stop resisting the world and being in your body. It's pointless to fight it. You may as well surrender and embrace what's here. Embrace whatever you meet, because this is your homecoming. You're needed here. Notice how much your body needs your presence in it. Otherwise, it ceases to be your body if your present is absence. If your presence is absent, just notice that. It's fundamental. Your presence is absolutely fundamental to your well-being. Embrace yourself deep, deep down in here. Feel yourself embracing your body, embracing the world, the earth. Surrendering the fight, the struggle. What would happen if you make peace? What would happen if you loved instead? What would change in your garden? Just notice. And say out loud to yourself, using the very first language that you spoke as a child. Say, hello me. Breathe your words in. Hello me. Let them land. Feel the words landing, a bit like little leaves falling off the tree, landing on the ground, or like raindrops soaking into the soil. Hello me. And say out loud to yourself, thank you for being here, me. Thank you for being here in this body. Acknowledging, validating, holding yourself. And say, well done, me. Well done for being in this body. Just notice what's happening to your nervous system right now as you acknowledge yourself. Is it soothing? Is it reassuring? Does it feel healing to acknowledge yourself? You can let your breath pour into anywhere that you need it. You simply choose to open it up, bring your attention there, and receive. Receive your breath. Receive the life force pouring in, like being fed. And you don't have to do anything, you just have to receive the food. And swallow it down, let it go in. Really receiving, taking it in. Allowing that giving to happen. It's a little turn of the senses that happens from being on output mode to being on input mode. That's like a 180-degree shift in your sensory awareness, in your feeling capacity, where your nervous system is probably programmed on the output, attuned to the outside of what's going on around you. And here you can transform that state so that your nervous system is receptive, input mode, where it's receiving your attention, your words, your breath, your holding, your acknowledgement and validation. And notice what happens when you do that. Is it difficult to do that? Is it easy to do that? Do you resist doing that? Or do you immediately embrace doing that? Or will it take a little bit of time to get used to? Do you need more time to make a decision if you're going to let yourself receive or not? Just notice that. Breathe, feel, sense. Notice what you see on the inside. And if you did make a decision today, right now, to receive, what would happen? What would change? And how would that feel? Kind of good, kind of not so good. Say thank you, me. Thank you, me, for paying attention. Thank you, me, for being aware. Thank you, me, for feeling. Thank you, me, for receiving. And see how it feels to say out loud, I love you, me. I love you, me. Well done. Tell yourself, well done. for receiving that. You can give yourself a little stroke. You can hold yourself. Well done, me, for receiving my love, my attention. Even if it feels weird and strange and new, even if you notice resistance, you're still doing it. So it's all good. Well done. And we really need to hear that. Our inner child needs to hear well done. Bodies are like an inner child. They really respond to well done. Or like a little puppy, well done. Like, body gets really happy when you say things like that to it. Give it compliments. Give it acknowledgement. Give it validation. It's a good body. It's doing a good job for you. Well done. Is the jaw still soft? Is the throat still soft? Is your bottom still soft? And say out loud with me, please come home, me. Please come home. Back to the truth. Back to the love that I am. Right now. And tell yourself, thank you. I've got you. I see you. Well done. Notice if you feel more connected now than you did in the beginning, about 30 minutes ago. Do you feel more home, more here, more present, more solid, more able? Just notice what changed. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving that to yourself. Thank you for showing up. You can be your best friend and show up for yourself every single day without fail. You don't need to abandon yourself just because other people have abandoned you. Doesn't mean you have to. You can set the record straight. You can change the habit of a lifetime. You can change the pattern in your family. You can change the well-being in your family simply by being present. You just show up. And it's really not hard. In fact, it's second nature to you. You know how to connect. It's just about connecting with something that's going to serve you instead of diminish you or hinder you or limit you or block you. Serve yourself. Be your own best friend. Don't leave yourself hanging, waiting for someone else to show up for you. Because the chances are, if you do that, you're going to feel let down sooner or later. People are imperfect. And if we can learn how to show up for ourselves, we become less codependent, but we become stronger when we're together. We won't have to support one another in the same way. We can thrive together. We can create together. We can build together. We don't need to be trying to prop one another up. That's not very helpful. It's just being a maintaining cause in a way. It's just maintaining the same conditions. So I believe it's time to evolve. You can make a choice to evolve out of those conditions that aren't serving you, and you can be the love that you're looking for. You can be the support. You can be the best friend. You can be the parent. And if you want help to do that, you can go and find the courses inside Self-Love Mission. The I Love You Me course is perfect for that. It'll help you learn how to love yourself whole again and really truly meet yourself in all the right places, exactly where you need it. It's designed to do that, so you're not left hanging anywhere. So that no part of you has to be in struggle or in pain or suffering. And we don't need to use struggling and suffering and pain to try and get other people's attention anymore. We can just stop doing that because it's not really working. It doesn't really pay off for us to do that. And instead we just give ourselves our own attention, and it can pay off immediately. Immediately, very, very quickly. You'll be surprised. All right, how are you guys feeling? You feel more present and more grounded in your body. Brilliant. Crystal Matthews is loving herself. Yay. Well done, guys. I wonder if in between me doing this guided session for you 3 times a week, are you showing up and doing it for yourself as well? Because you can rewatch these live streams, or there's a 15-minute, really quick 15-minute downloadable audio version inside Self-Love Mission. It's free. Just go and sign up, become a member, and it's free. You're very tired and very grateful. Thank you for being here. Your body probably really appreciates that extra oxygen if you're tired. Yeah, we need oxygen, otherwise we don't work. All right, my darlings, I'm going to love you and see you on Friday. Thanks for being here. Please feel free to share these live streams. You can just share them like a video. And every single one that I've done so far this year is all on this channel. You can access all of them. Feel free to share. I love it when you subscribe and leave comments and give me a thumbs up and a like, because it helps generate more, interest in the channel. It helps the algorithms. I don't really know how the algorithms work, but I know that if you do those things, it makes the algorithms work. And we together get to help more people become present and self-loving. So thank you for doing that. And I'll see you on Friday. Lots of love.